Good morning. This is day 5 of our 21-day consecration, spending 21 days with the Master. And I pray that you are continuing on in this journey with us, fasting and praying and seeking the Lord and growing in your faith and moving forward in your faith. Today's devotion is entitled Pleasing God Faith. Well, what does that mean? Well, we know in the scripture, Hebrews 11th chapter, verses 5 through 6, it speaks on Enoch. And Enoch had a very interesting life all the way back in Genesis. And we've learned by his story that the only way to truly please God is by putting our faith in him. So let's talk about Enoch for a second. The scripture says, by faith, Enoch walked with God, and God took him. He actually walked with God for 365 years. We know back in Genesis that they were living a lot longer than we would know to live today. And the typical age was around 800 to 900 years. But at year 365 of Enoch's life, God took him. God translated him to heaven, and he did not experience death. He had his own rapture. He was raptured up to heaven, and he has been with the Lord since that time. Well, Enoch just didn't walk around with God. What did that look like? Enoch actually was used by God because the generation was getting more and more wicked and people were sinning more and more and disobeying God. Well, Enoch was a righteous man. He was by faith, he was made righteous, and in his walk with God and in his right living with before God, God used him to preach to the wicked generation. He used him as an example of what a righteous man should look like. And he even prophesied, as we see in the book of Jude in the New Testament, that he even prophesied to this wicked generation that ultimately Jesus Christ, he said, the Lord will come with thousands upon thousands of his saints, and he would render judgment on this earth. He even prophesied of Christ's second coming all the way back in Genesis. And it takes faith to do that, to be able to receive a revelation and receive a prophetic word and share it with people thousands upon thousands of years before it actually is going to happen. It hasn't even happened yet, but we know that he received from God, because even in the word, it speaks to God's second coming, to Jesus Christ's second coming. He walked with God, putting his full dependence in him. And because of that, it pleased God. And he lived this consistent life. So what does it speak to us? It takes faith to walk with God. It takes faith to obey his commands, to put your full trust in him. It takes faith to obey him and do what he has told you to do. Walking with God means full dependence, full trust in him. Walking with God means he is Adonai in your life. What does that mean? Adonai means he owns me. He owns my life and everything attached to my life, my family, my marriage, my children, my career, my money, everything that is attached to me, everything that I hold dear, everything in my heart belongs to him. And when we have that type of faith and we walk with God like that, I will only go where he tells me to go. I will only do what he tells me to do. I will only say what he tells me to say. And when you live that type of life, you please God, because the scripture says he is a rewarder of them that diligently seek him. We seek him because by faith we know he has the answer. We know that he carries the promises. We know that he is the way maker. We know that he is truth. He is the way, the truth, and the life. And we're always in pursuit, by faith, pursuing that who is God, not what he has, but who he is, because we have to believe that he is. Not what he can do, not what he can say or what he can do for us, but who he is. Who is he? He is a good God. He is Jireh, the provider of all of our needs, supplier of all of our needs. He is Nisi. He is the one that goes before us. He is the banner that is lifted up when the enemy wants to come in. He is Shalom. He is our peace. Peace that passes all understanding. He is Rapha. He is our healer. By his stripes, we are healed. This is who he is, and we are to believe in who he is. And when we do that, we are encouraged and strengthened, and we have that tenacity to walk with him each and every day. Because there's going to come another rapture. Enoch was raptured, but there is coming a rapture of his church. And who will be raptured up? Those who walk with him, those who have put their faith and complete trust in him. Are you looking for that day? Well, I want to encourage you. Put your faith in God to the point where it pleases God. Walk with him. Talk with him. Spend time with him. Do what he says. Obey his commands. And you too will be a part of this church, a part of the people. You will be a part of the church that will be raptured up and see and meet him in the air and be with him forever. God bless you. I pray this has been a blessing to you. I want to encourage you, keep on pressing. We are in day 5, but keep on pressing. Use these times to draw closer to the Lord. Use these times in spending more time and studying your word and in prayer and doing what God has called you to do, whether it's to prophesy, to preach, to evangelize, to serve in the church, to be a witness, to disciple others, to pray and intercede for others. Whatever God has called you to do, whatever giftings he has given you, use them to the glory of God and do it in a way that pleases him. Again, God bless you. I pray that you will have a wonderful day, a strengthened day, and you will be the salt and light of the earth. Have a good day and stay safe.